Well, joining us in the studio once again, Professor Liu Baocheng and Francisco Sisi. Well, actually, there were two parts of the APEC meetings. The first part of the SCO meetings and the second part of the leaders meeting. Right now, we are watching on the right-hand side is the live feed from the water cube. I believe it is the National Aquatic Center where the welcome ceremony for state leaders, for the economy leaders from APEC countries and the host partners will be held. President Xi Jinping will welcome the leaders of the major economies of APEC and the host countries' partners to join in tonight's banquet and also performance show inside the water cube. Well, the water cube is, of course, used to be a venue in the Olympics back in 2008, and now it has become a sports venue that has been used as entertainment facilities and also sports events organizations. And the first to come to this water cube is Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott. Australia is one of the largest capitalist economies in the world, is dominated by service, which comprises about 68% of its GDP. Its mining sector represents about 19% of the country's GDP and is a very close economic and trade partner of China. Its government data shows the growth of the economy is powered by the mining and agriculture sectors. During the APEC gathering in Australia back in 2007, APEC members issued a declaration on climate change, energy security, clean government, which for the first time outlined future action in support of new international climate change arrangement. And followed by Chilean President Michelle Bachelet. Chile is considered one of the South America's most stable and prosperous nations. It leads Latin American rankings of human development, competitiveness, and per capita income, low perception of corruption. President Michelle Bachelet is just re-elected, representing her country at the APEC Economic Leaders Meeting. She plans to visit China for 4 days, starting from last Saturday. Well, the 2004 APEC meetings were hosted by Chile, which joined the group in 1994. During that meetings, the APEC members issued a statement of support for progress in Doha development agenda and set a target date for achieving breakthroughs in negotiations. But of course, we haven't seen breakthroughs of WTO negotiations so far, which proved how difficult it is to have a multilateral trade agreement. The meetings adopted in Chile adopted the best practices for RTAs and FTAs, the Santiago Initiative, expanded trade, and the data privacy framework. Leaders also expressed their resolve to confront the threat of terrorism, take further action in this regard by identifying the best ways to control exports, along with establishing guidelines on controlling man-portable air defense systems. And the gathering made a political commitment to fight corruption, ensure transparency, and endorsed a specific course of action towards achieving this. And this year around, anti-corruption is also high on the agenda of the APEC leaders. They have vowed to expand their cooperation on cooperation. This is Water Cube, the venue for tonight's dinner and performance show for the APEC economy leaders and leaders of the host partners. Now we see the motorcade of Hong Kong delegation. Well, Hong Kong is a vibrant city, a major gateway to Chinese mainland. It returned to China's sovereignty in 1997. It's the world's 8th largest trading economy. There's also a major service economy, particularly strong links to the mainland and rest of the Asia-Pacific region. In 2013, Hong Kong's GDP reached $260 billion. Sunday, President Xi Jinping met with Hong Kong Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying. President Xi says he supports the Hong Kong government's efforts to safeguard the rule of law and maintain social order. And followed by Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Well, Canada is one of the founding members of APEC. Back in 1989, it's the world's 11th largest economy and one of the world's top 10 trading countries. Well, China is now Canada's second largest trading partner. A Canadian Prime Minister arrived in Beijing on Sunday. He has already met with Chinese President Xi Jinping. This is Stephen Harper's third visit to China after he resumed office in 2006. He's here for a 5-day official visit to China besides APEC events in Beijing. But he made all the efforts to come to China despite the terror attacks in Ottawa just several days ago. Well, this is the Brunei, Sudan. Brunei is located on the north coast of the island of Borneo in Southeast Asia. According to IMF, Brunei is ranked 5th in the world by GDP per capita at purchasing power parity. And Forbes magazine ranks Brunei as the 5th richest nation in the world because of its petrol and natural gas supply. Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah is the country's 29th sultan, who also serves as its prime minister. Hassanal Bolkiah succeeded to the throne in 1967. The sultan said Brunei supports China's proposal on economic integration and connectivity at this year's APEC meetings, and Brunei supports China's policy to strengthen regional economic cooperation. The Sultan paid a visit in China in 2013, which brought the bilateral relationship between China and Brunei to a new level of strategic cooperative partnership. You are now watching the live broadcast from the Water Cube, the National Aquatic Center, where President Xi Jinping and his wife is receiving heads of government and heads of state from 21 APEC economies and the host partners countries. And very soon they will have a banquet where President Xi is expected to make a welcoming speech for all the dignitaries. Well, let's come back to our studio discussions. Professor Liu, it's a very rare chance to see so many heads of state and government under one roof, hosted by China even. What do you think they have achieved through the meeting this time?
I think one important issue is a consensus to work towards a common goal, which is the prosperity of Asian Pacific region, and by which there are a number of means that they have already also built a common understanding, at least so far, by connecting with each other in terms of the infrastructure,